Hi Ingrid, really well done on doing this piece of writing. It's good to see that you're still so dedicated to improving your scores, which is great. And I see that you've got your exam coming up very soon, so very good luck. Let's see what you've got for this one then. So nowadays most green energy is becoming ever more prevalent in both developed and developing countries. Some argue they greatly reduce costs and are better for the environment. Others believe they are a serious threat to energy security. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Okay, so you've done a plan there, which is great. You don't always have to have a very detailed plan, but it's good just to sketch out some of your ideas so that you have something to refer to more than anything. It can be quite stressful writing in the exam, so it's good to just have something to go back to if you need to. Okay, so let's see what you've got then. So, experts throughout both developing and developed countries have debated about whether the prevalence of green energy brings more positive or negative impacts to the society. Some believe that they threaten energy security, yet personally I strongly disagree. Good. This essay will argue both pros and cons of developing green energy, using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Good, well done. A really confident introduction there is great. I would say just one thing is, after debated, we don't need about. Okay, debated whether, so it's direct then. But yeah, good. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that using solar, wind, tidal power, etc. Okay, I would say using solar, wind, and tidal power cannot secure electricity supplies in towns. Okay, the central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, the conversion of green energy to electricity has a low efficiency due to the fact that a small amount of electricity requires a lot of power for its generation. Okay. Secondly, the electricity supply generated by green energy can be unstable as they are dependent on the weather. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 90% of all electricity in a village, which depends solely on renewable energy, were cut off due to a severe storm in 2015. Okay, therefore it is conclusively clear that the rapid development of clean energy can threaten a country's energy security. Okay, well done. Good. It depends on the weather. Okay, so 90% of all electricity in a village, which depends solely on renewable energy, was cut off due to a severe storm in 2015. Okay, well done. Good example there. Just that word there was confusing me slightly, so we need to change that to was cut off. But yeah, very well done. A good paragraph there with your point, your evidence, and an explanation at the end. Very well done. So the next one, on the other hand, good, so completing those phrases there. Although there is a case for the drawbacks of using solar, wind, tidal power, etc., the positive impacts of them cannot be overstated. Good. This is largely because such clean energy often does not require raw materials, so the cost of generating electricity can be greatly reduced. Okay, so does not. For example, coal, oil and natural gases are the raw materials of non-renewable energy, which requires a large sum of money for extraction, purification and transportation. Well done, great use of vocabulary there. If the energy comes from natural resources, such as sunlight, wind and tides, such costs can be reduced. Okay. Okay, I would argue here that you've already said this bit once. Okay, so be careful that you're not repeating yourself too many times. So you've mentioned about how it can be reduced, and then you've talked about coal and oil, and then you've gone back to green energy and said how it can be reduced again. So just be careful that you're not repeating those bits, because that can use valuable words in your word limit. Okay. Consistent with this line of thinking, using green energy can better protect our environment as they do not emit greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and thus intensify global warming. Good. As a result, it can be stated beyond doubt that relying on clean energy can be beneficial to our society, as it can save the expenses of generating electricity and help save the environment. So save, no ing, or probably say protect the environment there instead of save. Okay, good. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that the prevalence of non-polluting energy brings more good than harm to our societies. Well done, really good. It is predicted that such energy will increasingly grow in importance in the near future. Okay, now this is a really very good piece of writing. In terms of your language, it's near perfect, so no problems there at all. Only the couple that we've mentioned, which is really encouraging. I would say just in your second main paragraph, so this one, there is a little tendency to repeat slightly. So you mentioned twice about costs being reduced, whereas we only need to do that once, otherwise we're kind of going round in circles a little bit. But everything is very well described, which is good. As well, you've got examples. So example in this paragraph, you don't have one. Oh, you do, yeah. So for example, here, yeah, and so it's more in a general example rather than a specific company or so on. Okay, it might be good just to maybe mention a couple of countries or locations where coal and oil and energy derived from coal or nuclear power is prevalent, just to make it clear that that's your examples and that you're not being descriptive there. But yeah, a really strong piece of writing. This shows loads of improvement, so very well done. One that you should definitely be really proud of. Good work.